Hi everyone! Hope you're all doing well since we last chatted. It's Lauren here, back in Harvard, and as all of you know, a few weeks ago I had the exciting opportunity to go into New York City and meet up with one of our favorite CP team members, Chase Hu, who graduated last year from Harvard. And as many of you know, I'll be graduating from Harvard this May, so in a few short months. And I was really excited to meet up with Chase and catch up with him about what he's been up to since graduation, and also to get some advice from him about what life is like post-graduation in the real world. So from my interview with Chase, I learned 3 key lessons that I want to share with all of you today. The first lesson that I learned is that the older and more mature you look in the workplace, the better. So the first thing that struck me about when I first met Chase in the beginning, when I first encountered Chase when we were in New York City, was that he looked so much older and more mature than when he had been at school. And part of it was due to the fact, certainly, that he was still wearing his suit from work. But more importantly, I think it was the way that he carried himself. He was very warm, as always, but professional and courteous. And although Chase did not mention this point in his interview, I think the way that he dressed and presented himself is very important to success in the workplace, because when you're in the workforce, you always want to make sure that you're professional, you're presentable, and trustworthy to clients. And the second lesson that I learned from my interview with Chase was that when you're in the workplace as a new and junior person, you want to make sure that you really invest the time to be humble and to learn and absorb from those people around you who are more experienced than you as much as possible. So I once heard that during your first 90 days on the job, you want to make sure that you spend your 100% of your energy really learning and absorbing from everyone around you in order to learn more about your environment. And Chase really mentioned that and highlighted that as one reason that's helped him become more successful at work. And one thing that I really caught on to was the idea of being humble. And so, as we all know, sometimes mentioning that you're from Harvard or dropping the H-bomb can wrongfully stamp you as being arrogant. But if you make sure that you're there, you're humble, you're learning and absorbing from those around you and seeking out advice, I think it'll make a big difference to your success in the workplace, because people will really see you as an energetic, hardworking, and humble person and want to make sure that they work with you. The third lesson that I learned from my interview with Chase was that after graduation, it's really important to seek out a sense of community. So when we're at school here at Harvard, for example, it's really easy. Our social lives are pretty simple in the sense that we live with our roommates, we go to the dining halls when we're hungry, it's easy to join any number of clubs and organizations like the Chinese Students Organization, for example, or Women in Business. But when you graduate and go into the real world, it's hard to find that automatic sense of community. And what Chase has been doing recently is he's been getting more involved with his church, getting involved with volunteer activities, and also he plans to learn how to sail. And I think that joining these communities will really help him integrate better into the New York City community. And I really encourage all of you to get more involved with your communities as well, because I think it really makes a big difference in our personal sense of happiness. Speaking of community, the CP network has really been that for me recently, and it's been so nice to spend some time chatting with all of you here in the CP network. And I really encourage all of you to keep tuning into our blogs and to take a leaf from a show that I used to love when I was a little kid, 看 CP 朋友变天下. Bye everyone, I'll see you next time.